Maha, to you first. Liberals are taking an early lead, as we can see, with 50.6%, as Conservatives are trailing at about 38.8%. If you can just pull that map up for you, which has the latest updates. Maha, to what extent is this election then a rejection of Trump-style populism rather than an endorsement of the Liberals?
Well, if you go by the way Donald Trump has been talking about these elections and also on Truth Social putting out messages again this morning when Canada started voting, it is clear that he is the big issue in the Canadian election. And the voters are choosing a leader today, needless to say, at the current moment, somebody who can take on Donald Trump. In that context, if you see some of the commentary here, some of the in fact, political comedy that goes around in the country as well, if I can refer to it, they have all been talking about Pierre Poilievre as being Trump light, and therefore clearly looking at Pierre Poilievre as somebody who has in the past aligned with Donald Trump, and therefore even though at the last minute he tried to take a very strong stand against Donald Trump, even today, when that message was put out on Truth Social, Pierre Poilievre responded to it, saying that never will Canada be the 51st state of the United States. However, they took very long in pivoting their campaign towards what was the big issue for the Canadians over the last 3 months. And that was the annexation threat from the US and the economic coercion coming their way in the form of tariffs. And that's exactly where Mark Carney's campaign was able to capture the voters. They were able to project him as a person, a serious contender to take on Donald Trump because of his past record of being the governor of Bank of England, Bank of Canada, being a banker, former banker, an economist. And even though he's a political outsider, suddenly the voters started gravitating towards him as an entity who would be one person who can negotiate at equal terms with US President Donald Trump. And that really is the big issue, the dominant issue. And we are seeing the voting today that has taken place and the advance voting as well. Remember, 7.3 million people came out, 25% higher than 2021. All this indicative of the fact that the people in Canada want to give a majority to a party, which is likely to be the Liberals, as the trends are suggesting at the moment. And this is largely to give the Prime Minister enough support and be able to give him that heft to be able to take on US President Donald Trump.
Right, Maha, just before I let you go, among South Asians in British Columbia, where you are, is there concern that Trump's hostile posture, if Mark Carney takes the hot seat, will create uncertainty for Canadian trade with India and Asia?
See, one issue that was dominant for the people of Indian origin was also the issue of immigration. And on that count, they perceived Pierre Poilievre's politics or the politics of the Conservatives in alignment with somewhat of what the US talks about. The fears with regards to an immigration policy that may be that may not be conducive to this community is something that that the Liberals they find more comforting in that direction, and therefore for them the issue of which way they want to vote is determined by some of their own concerns as well. As far as the issue of trade overall is concerned and the issue of trade with regards to British Columbia itself is concerned, British Columbia has lumber trade specifically with the US, and that has been mired in a dispute between the two sides for many years now. And therefore, trade relations, if you only specifically look at the province of British Columbia, that is also something that was a hard-pressing issue for BC. And people in BC understand the repercussions that they could have faced because of Donald Trump and his tariffs that he was imposing. Of course, some of the bigger tariffs in the auto sector are hitting more on the East Coast. But overall, the understanding that the Canadians have with regards to tariffs, how it could hit them, how it could raise, in fact, the cost of living for people here is all something that is determining the voter turnout today, as well as the results that we'll be seeing today.
Thanks so much, Maha, for joining us with the lowdown from Vancouver. Let's get in a word from Brampton at the moment with Vikram. Vikram, do issues like rising cost of living and affordability outweigh global concerns like US-Canada relations for voters in Brampton?
Absolutely. I think, as we discussed earlier, it was a question of survival for Canadians, and the more of unity. That was nationalism and unity which took the center stage. Of course, inflation, affordability, and economy in shatters. That was one of the issues, but that was 3 months ago. If today's vote share of Liberal Party is, if you take into account 2 months is a long time in politics, and that's the testimony here. When Mark Carney, was sworn in, he made it very clear. I think the first thing he had to clear is that he doesn't carry the baggage from legacy of Justin Trudeau. He said that he's nothing to do with Justin Trudeau, and there's no similarity between him and Justin Trudeau. Axe the tax was one of the slogans that Mark Carney was champion of, what happened is that the day Mark Carney took over, he abolished the taxes. So there was no tax on carbon. So that was a major relief for consumers out here. But besides the point, I think what Canadian people, they realize that other things can be taken care of later on, but what needs to be dealt right now is Donald Trump. So
Right.
Donald Trump's rhetoric was the major concern and one of the top issues. And as we've seen in the last couple of months, Mark Carney, all of a sudden with his statesmanship, he wasn't a champion of slogans, but his polished style and his bureaucratic style, I think that went home with most of the voters. What we're seeing perhaps is 2021 Liberal Party was at its peak, the popularity was at its peak, but still they failed to get their own majority.